Welcome to LiciaToday, everybody. Today I'm going to start my first of my series of Laserable Leatherette. I got a bunch of colors, so I wanted to play around with them. I wanted to start off by showing you guys, I do play with the settings first before I even start doing a project. So sometimes you guys see me do a project and I've already did the test array to find out the best settings. So I did it for this one that we're gonna work on today. This material here is kind of like what did they say on it? I think it's like a basketball type of material. So let's get started. So I just wanted to show you the materials I'm gonna start off with. So I have these thin pieces of basswood plywood. These are about 4 by 4. And I have, again, this Laserable Leatherette, which is like the basketball type of pattern. So I'm going to use both of these, and we're going to just make a small picture frame. And we're going to do some cutting of the Laserable Leatherette as well as some engraving. So let's get started. Inside of xTool Creative Space, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Shapes. And you can either get a regular size square, you can either get a normal square that has just the sharp corners, or like I like to use the square with the rounded corners because I feel like it's just more safer on the end, so it's not too sharp. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a rounded edge square and I'm gonna change it to 2.5 inches. And then I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to go over to outline and I'm going to highlight this. And I'm going to change this to 0.5. And then I'm going to hit OK. So then what you want to do is you want to highlight both and you want to do combine, subtract, and overlap. So this allows it to just be the border. So this is going to be your frame. So then you're going to copy this and paste it 2 times. Okay, so one of these is going to be the frame itself, like the front part. The other one is what you're going to make your leatherette. You're going to cut out your Laserable Leatherette and put your design on one, and then the other one is just going to be the back piece so that you have a space in between if you want to put a picture. Okay, so let's work with the piece that we're going to make engrave and cut the Laserable Leatherette. I'm going to use this one right here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get some text, and you can choose whatever text you want. But I'm just going to do something real quick. So I'll put all stars. And I'm going to make it bold. And I'm going to make it 30. Okay. I want this to engrave. And then I'm going to change this color to red for engraving. The blue is going to be what I have set for cut. And then I'm going to show you the difference in these because one of them is going to be cutting, or I should say 2 pieces are going to be cutting for the basswood plywood, and then the one is going to be cut for the Laserable Leatherette. Okay, so we're going to move this here and try to center it as best as we can using the little crosshairs. And then I'm going to put some more text at the bottom. I'm just going to put 2024. And then make this the same size. And I'm going to make it bold as well. Engrave. And I'm going to put that at the bottom. Okay. So next I'm just going to add some little images on here too. So I'm going to go to Shapes and I'm going to go all the way to the bottom where they have other, and they have like some little sports things. So I'm just going to get a basketball. And that's going to be engraved as well. And I'm just going to size it down until it fits inside of here. And then if you want to adjust it with the minor adjustments, you just use your arrows on your keyboard. So I'm going to delete that one because I didn't notice I did it multiple times. And so I'm going to copy this one and paste. And I'm going to try to put it on the opposite side. Trying to line it up as best as I can. There we go. So I think that looks good. I'm just gonna see if there's anything else we can add just to give a little bit more engraving on here. Let's see. So that looks like pretty much what we'll just do. So we'll just do that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to put these to ignore because this is gonna be for the pieces of basswood plywood. This one we want to be on set to do the settings we had for the Laserable Leatherette. All right, so when it comes to the engraving, if I look at my test array that I did earlier for engraving, I'm going to try these settings. So it's going to be power of 100 and the speed is going to be 155. It's going to be one pass, and I'm going to leave this here. So then I want the same thing for the rest of these. Here, let me just highlight them all so they have the same setting. Okay. So we're going to put it on engrave. We're going to put it on 100. Speed 155. Okay. And then I'm gonna just change this one back to cut. And then for the cutting settings, I put the speed as 10. Or I'm going to put the speed as 10 based off the test array. And then for the power, it says either 33 or 55. So I'm gonna try 55. Keep it on one pass. Okay, so now let's move over to the laser engraver. Okay, so we have it in here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the distance on here. So I'm gonna try to make sure it's as even in here as possible. And then I'm gonna hit the distance button. This measures the distance from the material to your laser engraver. Then in xTool Creative Space, you're gonna go to Start Marking and then hit the rectangle. You're gonna hit Start Marking and then you're going to go to the upper corner and then you're gonna hit your button, which is, let's see if I can get you guys to see it right here. Okay. You're going to do that again. Hit that button after you put it on this bottom corner. Like after you finish doing your marking, you're going to push in marking, done. And then you're just going to want to move this out of the way. You're going to move your design into the area that it marked. So this is your material, that's where it is exactly inside of the xTool S1 on top of the honeycomb. Okay, so from here, everything is good to go. You're gonna push process and make sure you close the lid before you start. Okay, so I'm gonna turn on my fan just a little bit, and then I'm gonna hit start on the front. So the blue button that you see. So far it looks good. It just looks like it might be a little bit too harsh. But we can see if we can wipe off the burn part. So I don't know if you guys can see that it looks kind of like it's a little dark around it. So I'm gonna see if I can wipe that off. If not, then I'm gonna have to maybe turn down the settings a little bit so that it doesn't do that extra like residuals on the sides. Okay, I'll come back to you guys when it starts cutting. Okay, so now it's cutting. Like I said, it has kind of like that darkish residue around the engraved part, so we'll see if I can wipe that off. If not, then we'll have to play with the settings so that doesn't happen. But it looks like the cutting setting is working because it looks like it's cutting all the way through. So that one we won't have to change, or I should say I won't have to change. Okay, so it's all done. I have some baby wipes, so I might try to use those just real quick just to see if it will even just wipe off. All right, so it looks like it cut through, so that's good. Okay. So I'm just gonna see, it's not really that wet, but let me see if it'll wipe off. See if I have any alcohol. Let's see. So I'm gonna add some alcohol to it. Wait, maybe I don't even have any alcohol in here. Okay, let's see. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna see if I can just maybe rinse it off with some water, and if not, I'll try to do, or maybe I'll wet the baby wipe because it's kind of dry, and then I'll see what it does from there. Okay, so it ended up working. I took some alcohol and I put it on the baby wipe, and you can see like it's not clean all the way, but for the most part you can see that it does wipe straight off. So I think that's good. You can always play with the settings if you don't want to try to have to wipe it off, so I might do that in the future. But so this is the front piece. Okay, so now we have to do these two pieces. So one will be the back and the other one will be the one that we're going to attach this to for the frame for the front. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the distance for these. Just going to do it off one. And then we're going to mark both of these at the same time. So I'm going to show you guys how you can do that. What we're going to do is we're going to now set this to ignore. Move this out of the way. We're going to turn these back on. So we're going to put those on output. And then we're going to hit start marking and we're going to hit rectangle. You're going to do start marking. And then I already showed you guys how to do it visually, so I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna basically lead you through it, but you'll see how it ends up looking in xTool Creative Space, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna mark the top left corner and bottom right corner of each. So I'm gonna start with one. So once you have your one, you're gonna push end marking, and then you're gonna do it again for the second one. Okay, you're gonna hit end marking. So now you have both of them of your materials that are on your honeycomb in the exact place that is, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your pieces and you're gonna put each one on each one of the basswood plywoods that are in there. And I'm gonna change this material to 3mm basswood plywood, and I'm gonna make sure they're set to cut. And then I'm gonna leave it on the setting for this one. So I'm gonna hit process. Make sure you close your lid before you hit start. And hit start. And then I'm gonna turn on my fan and I'll show you guys how it cuts it out. So I don't know if you guys have been keeping up on my videos, but for this particular piece of basswood plywood, it's a thinner piece, so I don't do 2 passes on these. I only do 1. That seems to do the trick. However, if you ever notice that it does not cut through all the way, instead of moving it, you can always go to xTool Creative Space, and then it'll ask you if you want to process it again, and it will just go over it one more time. So that way you won't really lose any material if you don't move it inside of your xTool S1. I'll come back to you guys when it's finished. Okay, so it's finished. And like I said, for these pieces, it usually cuts all the way through. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take our Laserable Leatherette and we're going to glue it on top of this one. So I have just some craft glue that I've been using. It's like an all-purpose glue, and I'm just going to put some glue on here. So this will be cool if you want to use like different type of textures for your picture frames, and you don't want to have to worry about like having to color it in with like paint or Sharpies, as I've shown. And then if you do it this way, where I've just showed you, you will get the exact measurement so that it will line up perfectly. Okay. So then you have your front. You can always make like a stand, or you could, so this will be your back. Put that on there. And then you can put your picture inside. And then this will be your back piece right here. Okay. So you just glue this together, and you can put like your little picture frame, what do you call it? Like the pieces that you can hold on to the back. You can do that, and then you have your picture frame. I didn't think about this, but another thing that you could do as well is also make this one a little bit thicker than the back one, so then when you put your picture in, it won't fall through. But anyways, this is just a demonstration on one of the uses you can use for this Laserable Leatherette. So thank you guys for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned. Oh, also too, comment below if you guys would if you have any Laserable Leatherette projects you would like to see, because I bought a bunch of different colors. But otherwise, stay blessed. Take care.